And as far as that topic goes, do you have any input on how to address some of those limitations for women on the local and the global scale, maybe outside the Google realm?
On an individual level, I think you need to acknowledge it. I think you need to understand to what degree it impacts your industry, and I think you need to move past it. Certainly women are underrepresented in computer science, but it's not really about representation. It's about what individuals bring to the table. And I think that, yes, you should be aware of it, you should acknowledge it, but it's not something that you should think about every day, right? What you should be thinking about every day is, what am I doing today that can change the world? What am I doing today that's the most important and highest leverage way to use my time? And if you stay really focused on that, I think a lot of the gender issues become secondary, because the primary issue is really around impact and effectiveness.
And when you mention impact and effectiveness, that's interesting. You know, one of our questions from Twitter was from a gentleman who asks about getting life lessons off of YouTube, which is, of course, you know, it's a reference for really myriad topics, and you can gain information, you can gain insight, you can gain entertainment. It's kind of a free range for that. So with regard to getting information and life lessons, say, off of YouTube, should web history be peer collaboration on life information?
Well, I think it's not only, by the way, YouTube is a wonderful tool, but these types of life lessons and the amazing interconnectedness of our world really has to do with the internet at its foundation. I think it really is connecting people in a way that nothing really has ever before. And so I do think that it's really important in terms of the role it's going to play in society and the way that it connects us. In terms of overall web history, I think the same way your education says something about you, what have you chosen to learn, what courses did you get interested in, what types of things did you pursue, I think that web history is interesting for those same reasons. Web history is essentially, what did you learn, right? You know, who have you interacted with on a social network? What, research have you read? What books might you have bought online? So there's certainly a lot of value there and a lot of insights into a person. That said, it's also, because it's what you've learned, it's extremely private, and it needs to be handled with a certain amount of care. So we know, for example, that web history is something that can really improve our search quality, but we need to do that in a way that the users are very aware of it and are making a conscious trade-off to allow Google, in an automated way, to use that web history and that search history to enhance their results. So yes, search history is very powerful, so powerful that it's really important to have the right privacy controls around it and make very clear to users how their information is being used and what the tangible effect is.
Yeah, speaking of this being a powerful tool and in a way to not only connect but to inform and to learn, as someone who is an architect at one of the true empires of all of the above, what do you envision as possibility for Google to enter into another innovative realm, which is the 3D related field?
Well, it's important to notice that we already are, in some ways, in the 3D related field, and that we have a company that we purchased, SketchUp, that's been working largely in our geospace, modeling buildings, really trying to give a very three-dimensional view in Google Earth and Google Maps, which I think is particularly powerful. I think in terms of the broader elements of 3D, I think that they are interesting, but for now they seem reasonably far away from search. So, I feel that, if you look at how far we still have to go on voice input, on the input from pictures, the input of video, the overall just, integration of all this new media, I think that those are really where the immediate priorities and immediate advances will be. And while I certainly think 3D will eventually be useful in terms of the presentation of search results, I think that for now it seems further away.
So we just actually have a final question for you, which is, as Marissa, you are obviously a pioneer, been profiled by Fast Company as someone who's really paving the way not only for women in technology, but truly just someone who is paving the way for innovation, and is serving as a beacon for a lot of people who are inspired to take a route similar to yours. I'm curious, as is the whole community, about what's a myth about yourself that you do condone.
That's interesting. So, I mean, I think that I'm geeky, and I think that comes through clearly. I think probably one of the most flattering myths was this notion that I'm in some way fashionable or stylish, which I certainly, as someone who is somewhat geeky, I find humorous. Right, I certainly would like to be, but I don't think I actually am. So someone I think once said, she's a geek, but her clothes match. I thought that was just great. They don't always match, but I thought it was fun.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk with us at Changemakers, and really this entire community of women who are excited about learning from the real influencers out there. It's insights like yours that are helping spark those inspirations within really scads of people, so many people. So thank you again for taking the time to speak with us and to speak with the community, and we appreciate it.
Thank you very much.